Hello, everybody. My name is Smug.
And I'm Frost.
And for today's episode, we're doing something, only in tune with the rest of our channel of how we think there are some things about the game that we definitely know better than game designers do.
In, it makes you wonder sometimes if Games Workshop actually playtest their stuff. This is coming off of for timestamp purposes, this is coming off of the recent data slate drop for September.
Which,
Where
dude, I'm so mad. Dude, it's the fastest turnaround we've ever had for a video, and 3 days later, we're late.
Hey, but we don't really have a. I mean, we're not going to react to the the data slate changes because this is going to sound bad. Maybe I just don't really care because I don't think it did a whole lot
World Eaters are
personally.
happy. Knights got emergency patched like they needed.
That's why I'm annoyed. It's just, and that's actually why I said, do you think Games Workshop play test their game? I don't know who in their right mind. And so, by the way, for the topic of today's video, it's about bad rules. And I'm not talking about overpowered rules or rules that are just obviously broken. We're talking about specifically rules that are just objectively unhelpful. But it kind of goes along. It's two sides of the same coin of you have the obviously broken rules that should just never have even been written down or put into a book. And then you have the bad rules that are just so bad is how did you even decide on this? I mean, you should be familiar with this, Smug, because you got your army nerfed upon release back in ninth edition.
Hey, man. Well, I wasn't playing Votain at the time, so hey, man, all chiller up my street. But
My favorite thing about Votan in ninth edition is that they said, "Don't worry, guys, you can ally in Marines. They're best
yeah,
friends with Marines."
and
And
also
then
you could
they just
ally
got rid of
in
that
Votan into
immediately.
Marines immediately as well.
Yeah,
Back in ninth edition, it was so bad.
it was amazing.
I loved it.
It was incredible. But anyways,
But
topic for today: bad rules,
bad
not broken
rules,
rules,
not broken.
bad rules.
We're talking. It doesn't feel good for either side. It's just an all around okay, yeah, sure.
Because there's okay. So I was going through. I'm trying to think what actually came up. I'm trying to think of the unit in my mind that I was looking at,
Incursors?
and
What's the 12
it
inch?
wasn't incursors. Oh, so infiltrators are the ones that do the 12-inch deep strike
Yeah, yeah,
denial.
yeah.
But no, okay, I remember. So I remember texting you about this. It was the Land Raider. So I didn't actually add this in one of the ones that I'm talking about today, but the Land Raider is not seen and it's an iconic vehicle. Now I don't know if the rule assault ramps is actually bad.
I
And I don't
think
know
it's
if that's
bait. I think it's bait.
you think it's bad.
I I think that the units that want to use it are either fast enough or they're not to make use of it. And I think there's no in between.
That is exactly correct. I mean, the other way I think about it is the only real way that a Land Raider kind of works is you gotta have a strat for a vehicle to go through walls. Because if you don't, probably just faster to go through the wall anyways.
Yep, which infantry
Sort of
can do
the
anyway.
yeah, so it just doesn't really matter. Now I didn't add that, I didn't change that rule, but that is an example. And the other one I was looking at was spoil. Well, I guess this isn't spoiler. I'm gonna make a third army because my current army is Custodians of Blood Angels, but I'm going into the Xenos realms, and I was going to build a Eldari army. And I was looking at just units because I don't. It'll be an interesting army design choice. It's gonna be wraiths because I just have a thing for elite infantry. What can I say? But I was looking at units that can support the wraiths. I was looking at Dire Avengers, and I played Dawn of War 2, Dawn of War 1, not Dawn of War 3. That game sucked. But Dire Avengers are like the main baseline infantry for Eldar in that game. And they're very cool, and they're very cool models. But the rule is just horrible for them. And I didn't even use their rule as an example here. Because their rule is, what do you think the rule is, real quick off the top of your head? Would you be able to guess it?
Dire Avengers?
Yeah, Dire Avengers for Eldar.
They're
They're
not
basically like,
the Storm Guardians, so they're not sticky.
nope. Those are actually the Storm. Oh Jesus.
I don't care.
You have the Storm Guardians, Defender. Oh, you have Defenders and the other one, but
-1 to hit.
No.
Damn.
It
What?
is sustained hits 1 within rapid fire range,
Oh.
but they don't have rapid fire, so it's really within 12 inches. It's sustained hits 1.
Okay,
you're like,
that
oh.
kind of makes sense.
And you wonder, why did you just not give the guns? I think they do have rapid fire on it, but their guns are like not good. They can't take special weapons.
Okay.
And it's just like shuriken guns, which are like 2 shots,
Strength 5?
rapid fire, strength 4, 1/1.
So
like,
better bolters.
Basically, just, I mean, not really. Not
They got
really.
AP. They got AP. They got AP.
Bolt rifles for Marines are AP1. Like, it just doesn't. It just doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, that's
like, you know what I mean.
Yeah, that's not good.
Like the rule is you can double your amount of attacks if you target one unit. That's way better.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that's what I was thinking of, and I didn't use them as an example because we wrote some rules, and what I try to do is I try to pick like generic abilities, and try to rewrite them in a way so they actually make sense. Because there's a lot of units in the game, or there's a lot of abilities that you see like come up multiple times across multiple armies, and some of them are just really bad.
Yeah. -1 to hit if you shoot this unit.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, see that. I actually, funny enough, that's a little foreshadowing there.
It sucks.
So, really, I mean, I like debuffing my unit I like debuffing my enemy, not really killing him. But how do you feel? Do you feel that? And I wonder if this is sort of a symptom of universal rules. Because I know that was a big thing that they wanted from 9th edition, or a lot of players wanted this from 9th edition into 10th edition was universal rules. So
think that it's better that every unit gets a special rule. And like I think me and you both said it when we 10th edition announced, and it's like every unit gets a special rule. I think you and me both said this edition's gonna be defined by how good a rule, like a unit's ability is.
Oh yeah.
And like obviously that was the like signal on the wall, like duh. But like we also like immediately said if a rule is bad, like just never useful, that will make the unit useless regardless of what like other like war gear, etc. it has. And then it kind of turned out to be kind of exactly that.
There's one unit I can think of off the top of my head immediately that has, well, it is kind of a good rule for this unit. It is the Vindicator Blast Shield. Because all it does is that it lets it shoot blast into combat.
That is extremely good on the Vindicator.
That's extremely good on the Vindicator. Probably would not be good on like a Redemptor Dreadnought. You know what I mean? Because the only thing they have blast is like their macroplasma.
Yeah. Well, but, also the Icarus something pot, like it might have a grenade thing.
It lost blast. It used to have it. At least it might have, or the grenade launcher. You can give it the little frag storms on its chest.
Did it lost blast?
No, the frag storm have blast, but I think the Icarus rocket pod it lost blast. The frag storms do have it though.
I'm so glad people who don't play this game design it.
Yeah, but like for the Vindicator, that is an amazing rule.
That's an amazing rule.
But for other units, like that would be a very bad rule.
Yeah.
And funny enough, I don't actually know if there's like another unit that actually has a similar rule like that. There's a few units in the game that have some really cool, unique rules that never come up again, and I don't understand why they didn't come. I'll use Blade Guard as an example.
Blade Guard have a really cool rule where you get to pick one or the other.
Super cool. It's a super cool rule, and it's never used like in any other context.
Yep. Blade Guard vets are cool. I'm sad that they're gonna get deleted next edition.
Why do you think Blade Guard vets are getting deleted?
Old Marines.
Blade Guard aren't old. They're Primaris.
They're veterans. They got veterans in the name. Isn't that the definition of old Marine?
I mean, technically speaking, yes, but I don't think that means the model's old. They got released in 8th edition. I don't think they would
Eighth
give up.
edition was the half and half, man.
Oh wait, no, was it 8th? Yeah, it was absolutely 8th edition.
That's the half and half. Veterans is the old Marines. Hey, editor, put it up or zoom in really close into their abdomen and see if they got the Primaris thing. Put up an Assault Intercessor next to them to compare.
No, they are. They're Primaris sized.
They're Primaris? Okay.
Yeah, they're Primaris. Yeah. No, they were like one of the they were one of the first Primaris units because the first Primaris units were like intercessors. They released a ton because assault intercessors weren't even released immediately. That was
No, they were
actually a ninth
not.
edition.
Yeah.
Ninth edition was assault intercessors because that was the big thing with the
They
Necrons
came out with
short.
the box, yeah, with
Yeah.
the Necrons.
But no, Blade Guard were Primaris. Then you had the Intercessors, you had Aggressors and Eradicators, then all the Storm Speeders, and then I think a lot of the Phobos stuff came out as well. So this is going to be a video of a couple rules that we were talking about, and we have it written down. I will explain the rule, and then Smug is going to react, and then we'll talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
So, first on the docket, what's your favorite unit in Space Marines, you may ask, and everyone's going to say something dumb, but I can tell you one of the most useful units are the Infiltrators for that 12-inch deep strike denial.
Mm-hmm.
That is an insanely powerful rule.
It's really good.
It's almost like there is now a time when Death Guard, well, they're still really good, but
Yeah.
I think almost every Marine list at least has one, if not two.
Mm-hmm.
So, and you might say, wait, I thought you were talking about bad rules, but like rules that are unhelpful. No. I'm also talking about rules that I think should just kind of be adjusted to make them a little more unique, slash kind of have counterplay around, because it is just a hard counter to Deep Strike.
Yeah.
And if you have enough of them, I'm not saying they're an amazing unit, but it can severely hurt you.
Grey Knights are crying.
So, yeah. So in 8th edition, interestingly enough, this is actually where I kind of got this idea from. There was a stratagem for Marines that was called Auspec Scan. And basically what it was that if you set up a unit, if some other unit had range on it, they could immediately fire on it on a 4-up.
Yeah.
Or like on a 4-up to hit.
I remember
And that was,
oh gosh, what was it? The death marks and Necrons?
I think they have something similar. I could be wrong. Editor, pull up that rule.
Yeah, from 9th edition. From 9th edition.
From 9th edition. But it would basically be that. So I would change the 12-inch deep strike denial to a basically just hard denial to a 12-inch, like if you are set up within 12 inches of an infiltrator, I'd call it like advanced auspex instead of omni scrambler.
Mm-hmm.
So if you set up any unit within 12 inches, like in the reinforcement step of your opponent's phase, if any unit is set up within 12 inches of your infiltrator unit, you can select one unit that is also within 12 inches of the infiltrators. And if they have line of sight on the unit that you put in from Deep Strike, they can shoot at this enemy that only hits on a ballistic skill of 4-up.
Yeah. Death Marks did something similar. They came down, they deep striked after you deep striked and shot you.
So it's not exactly that. It's basically like, okay, if I set this unit up within 12, so you can't set it within 12 or within 6 or whatever. So if you have like a 6-inch deep strike, it's like, okay, I can put this unit here and shoot you. It's like, okay, well, if you put this unit here, guess what? My Hell Blasters are going to shoot you and they hit on 4s.
That makes sense.
Because
it also sounds like an amazing enhancement.
It does also sound like a good enhancement. And one of the reasons why I thought of this is because you actually mentioned it earlier in our text, is that it seems like Games Workshop is okay with units overwatching on 4s. Now,
Thank you, Steeljacks.
Yeah. Now this isn't an Overwatch. This is just like a straight up like I'm going to shoot you.
This is a specific. It has to come from reserve / deep strike, and like when conditions are met, then you can air quote Overwatch on 4s.
Yes. and it's not the infiltrators shooting. You have to have a unit within 12 of the infiltrators and deep strike within 12 of the infiltrators. So
Do
you have a
not let
friendly
a
unit within 12.
do not let a Vindicator Overwatch on Force.
Yeah, you better like make sure that you're not within 12 of the infiltrators then.
Oh, okay,
Because you have
yeah.
to, or you have line of sight on the Vindicator. So it's basically
Mm-hmm.
your unit comes down. If that unit is within 12 of the Vindicators, or of like another, if that unit is within 12 of the infiltrators, and those infiltrators are within 12 of another unit that can see the unit that just deep struck, then that unit can fire hitting on fours.
Okay. Convoluted enough to fit into 40k. Annoying enough to be able to work around and find your ways to work around it. Yeah, all right, I'm in.
I'd say also like maybe like a 6 inch within like friendly unit within 6 inches. 12 inches is kind of a lot.
12. Yeah. We're just talking about
Yeah,
ideas.
talking about ideas because what I think it does is that it doesn't hard counter armies that want to use deep strike like Grey Knights. You could even talk about things like the new Subterranean Assault.
Yeah.
Infiltrators just completely hard counters that,
Yeah.
and even Gene Stealer Cult to an extent.
Because there's
But
so many of them.
yeah, because there's so many of them, and so it doesn't just hard counter, but it does give the opportunity of like player skill expression. It's like, okay, I just need to make sure that I'm like outside of 12, or I need to put it in such a way that this unit can't see me, or I can just like not even risk it because I can still be within not like outside of 9 of this unit, but outside of 12 of the infiltrators or whatever, right? And
Right.
that's sort of what the thought is for me because I don't know, you can basically screen your entire deployment zone with like one squad of infiltrators almost.
Right.
I think that's like ah. So that's what I would change it to. I don't know if I would change all of the abilities to that. Maybe it would just be like specifically infiltrators because I would be fine with doing it for all of them.
It's also not that extremely common of a rule.
No, it's not.
Like, NIDS, the only way they have it is an enhancement. Um, Votann just don't have it in general. Knights don't have it in general. Sisters
Oh,
have
yes,
it.
they do. The navigator for agents.
Shut up. Anything? All right. If you tell me that agents give you a rule, it doesn't exist to me. Shut up. Um. I. Oh. Anyways, moving on. Pat. Yeah, continue.
All right. So, next rule. I hate this rule because it's so useless.
Yeah.
Any rule that requires your unit to be damaged but like that don't get a buff if they are at full health should just be removed.
But Frost. I love Crusher Stampede.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, that's the best. You know what I like doing? I like not leaving enemies on any sort of wounds remaining
Yeah,
or
just
models
cleaning
left in
them
their
off the
squad.
board like you're
Yeah,
supposed
like
to in this game.
yeah, it's like oh boy, it's like what I'm gonna. It's like I'm not gonna chip damage down unless I have no other option to. But I'm not gonna try to chip damage down like an exocrine with my
Chipping
tank.
means that you made a mistake.
Yes, exactly. Or you got unlucky on dice.
Yes.
And normally getting unlucky on dice means you made a mistake because you should have made sure you didn't get unlucky on dice. Unless
There's
you
a
got
way to
really
make
unlucky.
buffs or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I would change that rule completely. And basically remove it. I would just remove anything. And I get the whole concept is like, you're getting to like a blood rage or whatever, but it just I just don't think it really works as
If
like a
it,
rule. And
if it exists as is, it should be niche.
it really I just don't even know. I can't really think of a time or situation where because what are the armies like sisters have this ability. I know battle
Yeah, for
sisters have this
detachment.
ability. And it just I don't know like how often are you like surviving on I mean if you're trying to like kill 10 sisters you're going to kill 10 sisters, right?
Yeah.
Just when is that
Okay, dare I say, I think that rule fits well with the 10-man berserkers because they're forced to take 10 mans.
Yeah, but even still, I mean, how often are they going to like actually be a 10-man squad like after they hit their original target?
Well, no,
They're
that's the
just
thing. Blood Surge and that rule is like, okay, that's fine in my book.
well, okay, but they have another rule to help them like get into combat
Yeah, yeah,
though.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So anyways, so in general, I would just get rid of that rule and I would change it to any rule that requires you to be below starting strength or below, like, and also below half to get extra buffs. I would just change the wording to if you target a unit at starting strength, you get X. If you target, so that's one.
Mm-hmm.
Two, I would change the below half to half or below.
Yeah.
And then I would say if you target a unit that is half or below. So basically, you go from your unit needs to be below starting to get X, and then it needs to be below half to get Y. To if you target a unit that is at starting, you get X. If it is at half or below, you get Y.
Yep. Yep. And it's just this edition is wholly based around because of actions. It's wholly based around if you touch something, you better delete it.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, especially with vehicles, and this
Yeah.
is a topic for another day. Since vehicles don't really bracket this edition, they would be if you didn't play in 8th and 9th, you could cripple vehicles to the point where they were basically useless.
I remember crippling your Custody Dreads and just leaving them on the board because they didn't matter anymore.
Oh, dude, it is.
-1 to hit and wound and movement, and you
Oh, it
can't
got
hold
worse than that.
points,
Yeah,
and like
it was.
half attacks.
I remember very vividly playing against Imperial Guard back in, well, I guess it's Astra Militarum, but
Yeah.
you didn't even like really need to kill the kill like their Bane Blade or their like their heavy tanks or anything like that. I used Bane Blade like specifically, but because you can basically make it that if you do like half damage, I think it was half and then like a third is what it was a go
Yeah,
to. But if you
it
got
was
to
a scale.
that second bracket, it was like -2 ballistic skill and you had like a quarter, like 3/4 of your movement removed. Like if you were movement 10, you'd be like movement like 4.
Yeah.
And you'd hit on 6s if you were
Yeah.
like a Lehman Russ.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, dude, so I am like useless.
Yeah.
And I personally, I think that was kind of okay right now
I am
compared to
not
what it
gonna
is now.
wholly disagree with you. Yeah, 1 to 4 on pretty much everything is mediocre.
Really what it should be is because here's the theory with it, right? So if you have a squad of, let's say you got your brand new steel jacks, right?
Yep,
You got
yep,
6
yep.
steel jacks.
Yep.
Let's say you go and you charge something on a point because you're taking the melee weapons and you kill 2 of my, let's just say I'm playing custodians and you kill 2 of my custodian guard, right? So my 2 custodian guards fight back and they kill 2 of your steel jacks.
Yep.
Now all of a sudden, like both of our units are now technically bracketed because they're less efficient.
Yeah, there's not as many attacks, there's less guys, we're injured, yada yada.
Exactly. But vehicles, it doesn't really work that way. It's like, yeah, they're -1 to hit, but they still have all the same amount of attacks because that's what really cripples infantry is just losing. I mean, killing 5 fire dragons out of a squad of 10, it's like, well, that unit is now half as good.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Whereas if you remove half the wounds on a Rogel Dorn, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
At all.
It's more points efficient to take damage on a tank and survive.
And so that's why you have to just eliminate it, like eliminate vehicles and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So I can kind of understand why Crusher Stampede wanted to give it that. It's like, oh, because vehicles should live longer and they might like survive on 2 wounds or whatever.
But they also don't give you a way to hurt yourself to make use of the rule.
Oh, see, that'd be perfect.
Yeah, if you could.
That would actually be kind of fun.
Okay, that would then become not a comp detachment, but like a, you know what? Yeah, sure, pal. You want to take some mortals and go crazy? Have at it.
If the buffs were good enough, it could be. But
yeah,
the point we're trying to get at is rules that require your units to be below starting strength just normally don't really come up that often.
Yeah.
I think Death Company have a rule for Blood Angels that is similar where you get like sustained hits if you're below starting and like sustained 2 if you're below half. It's
with Astrath or whatever his name is.
Oh, no, that's just the Death Company on foot. That is their rule.
Oh. I've never played against Death Company on foot.
Well, they're not good because their rules
Okay, cool. Okay,
sweet. They don't do anything.
Okay, sweet. I don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, but that's what I mean is that you just don't see units because we go into the whole thing of like their actual melee profile is good. It would be a very good trading piece, but just assault intercessors are just better because the rule is better.
Yeah.
Even with them re-rolling like their charges and re-rolling all their hits, having more attacks, they're just better. Like just assault they're
Attacks.
just better. But anyways, third one, everyone's favorite mechanic in 10th edition. You know what that is?
Battle Shock, right?
Exactly.
Oh, I love
Uh,
Battle Shock. It was so fun to play that for an entire 6 months with Tyranids.
oh, you mean an entire 3 years?
Oh, I switched to Votan the second the Christmas
Oh,
boxes
I
came
see.
out.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Oh yeah.
Um, so Battle Shock, and I'm not even talking about the Tyranid thing. Is that one of the rules you wanted to talk about?
It kind of is one and the same. Cause like Nids just functionally being based around Battle Shock and Battle Shock sucking is like
Not a great
whatever.
combo.
Because here's the thing. You go against Gilliman, right? And it's like, oh man, I really wish I had +1 to wound against the 5 leadership. And it's like, oh, but it's -1. Or, oh, it's -2. It doesn't matter. I'm not sure if y'all have come into this problem ever. Viewers, write below if you've ever hated somebody who made a 9-inch charge when they didn't deserve it. Because that's the exact same issue with leadership checks.
They didn't deserve it.
They didn't deserve it. And I know for a fact people know what I mean. Because every single Grey Knight player before Kaldor got Legends would not make a 6-inch charge even though they deserved it. But then there's some goober who's just picking up the game and makes a 9-inch charge on something they didn't deserve.
There was a game I won. This was at the beginning of 9th edition. This is a true story. I actually have the plaque because I got second place at this RTT. It's very funny. I went undefeated, but I lost on tiebreakers. But
Yeah.
that also, dude, that's happened 5 or 6 times to me. Like this edition alone is
You should
getting
stop
second
tying
at an
people.
RTT, going undefeated.
You should stop tying people. Have you considered that?
I know. It's like only one of those events is I tied someone. But what was I gonna say? So there was a time I made 5 9-inch charges. This was oh my god, what's the mission where you burn the objectives?
Scorched Earth?
It was Scorched Earth. I made 5 9-inch charges in one turn on Scorched Earth. I was playing. This was like before the indirect got really nerfed. So like so the Manticores could like hit on 2s and stuff.
Yeah.
Right. So I was like, I have to
whatever.
just be like super hyper aggressive here.
Yeah.
I made 5 9-inch charges in a single turn, burned all the objectives, and like just won on primary.
Oh my
I burned
gosh.
all the objectives in the middle of like turn 2 because you could do it. You didn't get like at that time you could do it. You just didn't get points for doing it, but you could burn all of them.
Yeah.
I was like, nope. I said we are not having secondary. Like I'm
We're
like,
not doing primary.
I hope you're cool with your 5 primary points
Yeah.
every turn. Like it was
Oh,
awesome.
man. Yeah. Write in the comments below if you've had something worse than that somehow.
It was against my friend too. It was he was so pissed.
I
He has not played me since, actually, interestingly enough.
If you did that to me, I don't think we'd have this podcast. Oh, that's
but
great.
anyways,
Battle Shocks.
Battle Shocks. So anytime that you have an ability that forces Battle Shocks, you'd be surprised on the amount of abilities that like will make you take a Battle Shock and then don't even make it -1.
They had to FAQ the Infernus Marines with the new detachment.
Yes, because think about this. So what's the majority leadership in the game is 7. Like I
Yep.
believe a 7 on 2 dice is like 57%. So majority of the time you're just passing it.
Yep. And then
a
-1,
6
it
up,
becomes an 8, which is like 43?
something like that. But it's not an amount that you're not going to see a lot.
Yeah.
And like if you're a 6 up, it's like in the 60. It's like 65 or something like that. So you're
Yep.
passing majority of them. So even if you're playing against Marines, right, and you're Tyranids,
Mm-hmm.
and you have your Neurotyrant, do they do -1 or you got -1 within Synapse?
Okay, it's both. So you get -1 with Neurotyrant and then another -1 with if you're within Synapse.
Well, and then also for the Neurolictor, does he do -1 as well?
He's just -1 in your command phase. My command phase? One of the commanded phases.
regardless, even if you're stacking two minuses, right?
Yep.
There's a good chance that, I mean, if you're playing 6-up, which a lot of armies have a 6-up leadership, you just basically, you're like kind of banking on, a 40-ish% chance that they fail, which is not great.
Yeah, I mean, it's only Battle Shock suck. It's there's no, the way that they make it feel right now is instead of a niche role that's like, oh, neat, it's my entire battle plan bases around this 50-50 dice roll that you're about to do.
And that's just, as somebody who plays an army with 4-up invulns, it's not a great place to be.
Yeah, 50-50s are
it's
only
really not a great
so
place to
fun. I know it won Worlds last year, but guys,
we'll see what happens this year.
It's not happening this year.
Oh, it ain't happening again.
Not this year.
God, timestamp this or when it does happen again. I have to look like an idiot. So with Battle Shock,
Custodians are the best army in the game 2 years in a row.
Exactly. So with Battle Shocks, I don't really know of like a great way of doing it without making it overpowered. I have two ideas. One is that if you change it from just like, because there's, okay, any ability, this is the first one. If you're going to keep it and you're not going to buff it,
right?
Any ability that forces a unit to take a battle shock, it has to be at a minimum -1.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Yeah.
Like there shouldn't be an ability that's like take a battle shock test, no modifiers, because it's
Right.
like, okay, so I'm just like never going to really fail this unless it's like random.
Right.
So that's one. I wouldn't mind a stacking mechanic. So if you have like two sources of battle shocks, right?
So Shadow in the Warp and Neurolictors.
Sure. If you have to take multiple battle shocks like within a single like turn, right, or battle round, whatever, every time you take a battle shock, like it should be stacked. And I also don't think there should be a limit because they capped it at 9. Like leadership 9 is the limit for battle shocks.
Right. Which is
I don't think it should be limited.
Okay. Also, just for the audience at home, if either of us played or cared about Night Lords in general, that would be another argument, but I'm the only one who cares about Battle Shock with Tyranids and Shadow in the Warp. So that's the only reason Night Lords aren't being mentioned as a talking point here.
I forgot Night Lords existed until you mentioned it.
Yeah. They are.
I was honestly thinking about, I'm like, what armies factor around battle shocks? And I was thinking, I'm like, Tyranids and Chaos Knights,
Night Lords.
How did I forget the one random Null Maiden Vigil in the Custodian Codex?
Sure.
They actually, funny enough, they're actually one of the best armies to actually do battle shock.
Force you to battle shock without a test.
Yes, they actually have an ability to just like make you fail, which is and that was what I was going to say. I actually think there is a world where you could basically say you just automatically fail this battle shock for this whatever, like for this turn. I think it would have to be one of those things where it's like one unit from your army can do it though.
If I was going to rewrite Shadow in the Warp, it would be once per turn, one unit fails battle shock.
I don't even think like that's horribly oppressive.
It's okay. If you're against Custodes, maybe that's too much. But if you're against Guard, it doesn't matter.
I don't even think it's too much against Custodians, honestly.
Okay, all right. The Custodian player's saying it's fine, so let's go.
It's annoying. Like it's annoying, but I don't really like what are you gonna do? Like because there's not a lot of strats that is like particularly super helpful for them. Yeah. I mean, keeping objectives would be annoying, but it would be in your turn, so it wouldn't matter because I'd already be scoring objectives then. Right?
Well, Shadow in the Warp can be either player's command phase.
So, you know what? We could just change it to, in your command phase, you just select a unit on the battlefield.
Oh, no. I deny Armor of Contempt.
Well, that can be a big deal, though. Like, if you need to do something like any of the strats, like if they have a fight on death or anything like that, that could be a really big deal. If you need to do something like Storm Hostile, and they have like, and you're like, fuck, I can only get this one unit that's like OC whatever on this point, and you can just be like battle shocked. Like I only need to get one OC on here with my one gaunt, and it's like now the point's mine.
Yeah.
So I think there's actually like good like niche cases for it. Hell, you can make it 2 units. Maybe that would be overpowered, but I think like that would be a better way of doing it. So either you make it guaranteed, but you're like limited to like 1 unit, like one, like even if you take 3, only one of those units can like automatically like do something. So you're probably only going to take one. You either do that, you do it that every time a battle shock test is taken, like within a battle round, it just keeps stacking at like minuses, and there's no cap. Like you could just, if you got to the point where it was minus whatever, like 8, then yes, you are just battle shocked. And the other one is that every rule that has a battle shock test that needs to be taken, it has to be done at minimum -1. So those are mine.
I would rework Battle Shock entirely.
That would be the correct answer.
Okay. Sweet. All right.
So we'll move on from that. Okay.
11th edition.
11th edition. We're almost there. So abilities, -1 to hit. So remember how we mentioned earlier that it's like, what do I like to do? I like to cripple my opponent, or I like to remove my opponent from doing stuff.
I'm so glad there's an entire detachment of Votann based around -1 to hit. Nothing gives me more joy than making other people -1 to hit.
It's not like Oath of Moments. It's like, oh no, I go from I hit on
3s to 4s, rerolling anyway.
I still hit 75% of my stuff. And I use Marines, but there's a lot of units that have abilities to reroll hits or wounds or really anything. Even ones to wound, even hitting on ones. It's
hitting
like, okay.
Ones to hit and wound rerolling is so
really, really good.
Much of the value.
I mean, I play Angelic Inheritors, and oh my gosh, with the spear changes, they are really good.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that detachment was already really good. It just got better.
And to those of you in the comments who are going to say, "Oh, but I only roll 2s." Yeah, me too, bro. The land fort, it only rolls 2s now. I can't do anything about it. It's just, you know what? You take your hits where you get them, boys. We can only take so many dubs.
So what I was gonna say is, instead of changing it to like -1 to hit, I think it's a dumb rule. Or it's not a dumb rule. It's just that there's a rule that you could do it, and it's just never gonna come up.
Yeah.
So again, what is a unit that like is -1 to hit? Suppressors do that.
Yeah. The Votann detachment.
Votann detachment.
The Pioneers one. It's the Bikes one.
Venoms.
From Drukhari. I don't know if they do that in the Codex.
No, Venom Thropes. That's what I meant. Not Venoms. That's
they just give stealth.
Oh, okay. They have an
aura of stealth.
Okay, I thought they like had to hit a unit. All right, so I'm wrong on that. But there's I know like Sagittarium do that in Custodians. There's a decent amount. Like, what was the unit in Eldar that I was looking at that does that? Vipers.
Yeah.
And they do that, but they used to be good. They used to strip cover. Now it's -1. It's like, oh, dude, they were good before. Now they're actually useless. So what I would do is I would remove that ability. I would just change it. -1 to hit. It just doesn't really matter. Like fire teams also do it in Tau.
Right.
What I would do is that I would just say any unit that they hit cannot reroll hit or wound rolls.
Ooh.
I think that's a good rule. That is an objectively very, very powerful rule.
That is an extremely powerful rule. Because that kills Oath of Moments, that kills Votann Terminators, that kills half of Tyranids with reroll 1s. That kills...
You have to select. Ooh. Let's just say you have to select one of them. It's like you can either... your opponent cannot...
Right. Same thing with slowing hit rolls. Yeah.
You know what it could be is that basically you have 2 versions of the rule. Like one of the versions is just like this unit like stops rerolls hits. This unit stops rerolls wounds. Different units.
Ooh, still very good. I'm still on board.
I think people would be very upset if it's like, oh, but what the heck, my unit that what was it gonna like assault intercessors, you know, like that generic rule of like 1s to hit, like reroll 1s to hit, reroll or 1s to wound, reroll all wounds if they're on an objective. It's like that completely hard counters my thing. It's like, well, I mean, I'm trying to think of a rule. So does the 12-inch deep strike completely
Yeah.
hard counters like any unit that's rule is deep strike within
Welcome to
6.
40K. I'm so
Welcome to
sorry. Like,
yeah. Sorry about it. Like
there's some things where you just get hard countered.
and I think that would make those units really really actually a very interesting tech piece.
You
Because also
definitely
there's a
take
chance it just doesn't
one.
do anything.
Yeah, no. There's some armies where it does nothing. Like old Votan, it did nothing.
Yeah, because you don't have rerolls.
Yeah.
Like, you
Now
know
we
what
have
I mean?
rerolls everywhere.
It would be
But
like shooting guard, right? It's like you could shoot a guard tank with it, or like a Lehman Russ, or like a Rogel Dorn. If they don't have a scout sendal, it's like, okay, I wasn't rerolling anything anyways.
yeah,
Like
and like, correct me if I'm wrong, but do Grey Knights reroll at all?
Warpbane Task Force, yes, that is their detachment where they
Is
reroll
that the
like all
Grotmus
wounds.
one?
That's the Grotmus one
Okay,
where
so that's one
purifiers
that
reroll
is
all
Grey
wounds
Knights.
all the
Okay.
times. Yeah.
Okay, so that is the
Um
Grey Knights detachment.
yeah, but I think like that would because that's like you can't use like command hit rerolls either, stuff like that.
I'm I
But it
am
wouldn't
gonna say
affect things
that
like
might
Miracle
be
Dice.
too much.
Well, that's why I
I
would.
think it should be a scale of like I think very niche units should get no wound
Oh,
rerolls, no hit rerolls, and like the common way you spread that rule is once.
yeah. I don't think it. I think it could just be one of those things where it's like one or more. Like you know, like how the captain, like you can have multiple captains, but only one of them can use the ability.
Hmm. Yeah.
I
Okay.
think
That's peak.
that's how
Yes.
you would do
That
it.
you know what? I will absolutely meet you in the middle on that. That is a wonderful like agreement. Yeah.
Because I could see a world where it's like, oh, I'm taking 3 suppressors, like for Space Marines for
Yeah.
225 points. I'm literally just like, no hits, rerolls, no hit, rerolls, no hit,
Yeah.
rerolls. Yeah, because then again, like this becomes like an actual tech piece,
Mm-hmm.
where it's like, okay, I need something that hits on force, because this would be like very very good to counter like things like Drukari,
Yep.
Scourges,
Yep.
right? Because Scourges hit on 4s, and they
Yep.
don't have a lot of shots. It's like, ooh. Now, actually, now that I think about it, like anything that actually shoots at Drukari Scourges are probably going to kill them. So
Yeah.
I don't even know why we bring this up.
Like yeah, Scourges.
They're so
It's
weak.
not gonna
I mean, they
matter.
have a 5-up invuln, but they're T3, 5
That's
up
the
save.
point of Drukari. Let's not act like this is some kind of oh woe
Oh
is
no,
me.
I know it is.
That's the point. Editor, put up the new Drukari Codex with a sad face.
Yeah, it's gonna be a rough one for the Drukari players.
Skari's still gonna win 13 GTs.
He'll be cool with it. Then the last one. This is a mechanic that is kind of, I believe it was introduced in 10th edition, and it's incredibly powerful.
It existed very, very small in ninth. I think there was a
Yeah,
total of 5 or 6 units that had it in ninth.
but we're talking about reactive moves if you move within 6,
Yeah,
or within 9.
within 9, yeah.
I would change that rule that any of the reactive moves that are D6 are really bad, whereas the reactive moves that are 6 inches are incredibly strong.
Yeah.
I think you could basically have two versions, because there's already 2 versions of this rule.
What is it? The Lieutenant Combi.
He's flat 6.
He's flat 6, which, like, I think that is the definition of the best reactive move you get.
There's a decent amount of units that have that flat 6 reactive move, or a strat to do a flat 6 reactive move.
Oh, what? Gladius is good?
Yeah. The Phobos, the new detachment in the Raven Guard detachment.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, like the Gladius rule is if you're in Tacticus or Tactical, sorry, Doctrine,
Mhm.
Tacticus armor, Tactical Doctrine, then you can reactive move 6 inches.
Which, like,
Um,
I don't have a problem with it. Reactive moves, because they're so niche right now, and, like, whenever you talk to somebody at the start of your game, every single time it's, all right, checklist real quick. Reactive move is on everybody's checklist.
yes. And the thing is, with having a D6 reactive move, I think it's bad for both parties involved that are going to be using this ability.
Because the
Because
other guy
one-
has to plan for 6, and you have to plan for 1.
Yeah. And you could say, like, well, that's trying to balance it. It's like, well, I mean, I guess you can, but I think it's bad because there's too much like randomness involved with it, right? Because it's like, well, shoot, I have to put this unit here that's gonna trigger a reactive move. If they roll a 5, then
I'm
like
safe
they
and I'm out of your way,
then
and there's
I'm
nothing you
good.
can
Or
do
it's
about
like,
it.
or it's like,
Yeah.
or it's like if they move this here and it's like, shoot, I didn't measure properly. Like I didn't expect they were gonna go here. It's like, well, if I roll a 5, that's fine. Or you like make a move and it's like whatever. But it's like if I roll a 5, I'm good. But if I roll anything else, I'm screwed.
Hmm.
I think it would be better if it was just flat 3 for the bad one and like full 6 for like a good one. You have the two versions of it because then it just helps everyone plan around it, like knowing exactly like what can happen. And I know it's a dice game. There's already so many dice rolls you make in a game. I think this is just a way to kind of speed things up a little bit and just kind of like so everyone knows what you're working with. This, if that makes any sense.
I'm okay. I'm gonna say this because I like to gamble. I think you should have all three. I think that there should be
I mean,
some
I'm
units with
okay
a
with all three.
D6. I think there should be some units with a flat 3, and I think there should be some units with a flat 6. I think the D6 should be for strats. I think the flat 3 should be unit abilities for the weaker end, and I think flat 6 should be unit abilities for the stronger end. I think
How about
that's
this?
the yeah.
I got a new one.
Yeah.
All right. So bad version 2D3. Good medium version D3 plus 3. Good version flat 6. So you're getting minimum 2 inches.
Yeah, I'm convinced. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'm
I
convinced.
think that would be better because
My
again, I
silence is
mean,
me thinking it through on my Jaegers, and it's like, yeah, that sounds entirely reasonable because I'm not an inch away from the wall, but I can still hide from shooting. But in the same breath, yeah, no, I'm convinced. I think that's probably because also more dice. If I have the option of more dice, I'm in. You know?
the way I think about it is that like what so the average is like 4 inches for like 2D3, which is fine, which is it make it a lot stronger than what it currently is. But then the medium version is like, okay, so a minimum going 4, probably going 5, best case scenario I'm going
You
6.
can also
Then the 6
plan
is obviously just like flat
around
6.
fours consistently with 2D3.
Yeah, so it's like you can plan around like a consistent number, but you still have to make a dice roll because like most of the time like 2 inches like probably just isn't going to help you that much anyways.
Yep.
So, but
And
it's
like
still certainly
again,
an option.
you can guarantee that you get behind a wall, which is what reactive moves should do.
Like, dude, getting an inch on the reactive moves is so demoralizing.
The only thing it does for me when I roll Jaegers is, haha, I rolled a 1, and it makes the other guy feel better if I'm crushing him. That's the
Yeah, I mean,
only thing it
especially
does. It's such a
there's some
pity roll.
strats. There's some strats that like require you to like roll a d6, right? Like for the
Mm-hmm.
reactive move. Like
Mm-hmm.
so it's like if I'm spending a CP to like do something, like I want to at least like know I could like get behind a wall,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So that's kind of my thing. So 2D3 for bad, D3 plus 3 for medium, D
Yeah.
like flat 6 for good.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. That sounds entirely reasonable to me. I think that is an adjustable point.
So I have an honorable mention. So these were the 5 big ones that I really didn't like.
Okay.
Honorable mention, fight first. Again, very good rule,
Very
very
good
strong
rule.
rule.
Very strong rule.
I would make it that you just it's instead of fight first, it's just guaranteed fight on death.
I'm thinking about Slanesh. I'm thinking about Corn.
I mean, Korn has a 4-up fight on death for World of World Eaters.
Yes, but I that would get replaced with Fight on Death flat.
No, 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 it wouldn't. They don't have fight first. This is like the Judiciar. But yeah, I think like fight first because here's like so fight first is so incredibly powerful,
Yeah.
and there's not a worse feeling of like going into like if you're playing an all melee army and you're playing
Yeah.
against like a Judiciar with like
Blade Guard.
6 Blade Guard veterans.
Hmm.
It's like, I mean, you could charge that with a lot of units in the game, and there's a just
Almost
a
nothing
decent.
that tanks it.
I mean, I can tell you a unit that did tank it, and it was my two Oh, excuse me. It was my 2 custodian jet bikes and my shield captain.
Okay,
They
but that
charged it.
was what, the 50-50?
Uh, no, I mean they almost killed. They killed the 2 bikes and almost killed my captain, but
Good
I got my
lord.
captain to put his swings in, which is
Okay.
all I wanted. And I killed like 4 of the blade guard, which
You
I
know
knew was
what?
going to be a problem later on.
I will also happily take that rule because I don't get fights first on any of my things, but like the idea of this is a melee unit is like something I could happily say, yeah, that's a melee unit. That is going to kill me in melee. There's no and ifs or buts about it. Like, there's so many shooting units that are, this is a shooting unit. When it shoots you, you die. But there's almost no melee units that are, this is a melee unit. If you get into melee with it, you die. It might cost me, but you will die. There's shooting units where it will cost me, but you will die. Melta,
What
for
I,
example, they have to get close for you to die.
it's mainly it's kind of the snowball effect with fight first. Because not only are you like if you are a melee army and you charge something with fight first, or you get heroically intervened by something with fight 1st,
Mm-hmm.
not only are you now losing your melee unit, that melee unit is still here,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Whereas fight on death, it's like okay, you're
They still
trading
lose some.
pieces,
Yes.
and you're both are like yes, you're losing something, but you're making a trade because of it. It's like well, I just like completely threw that unit away,
Yep.
and I got nothing in return for it.
Yep. Which,
So
like,
that's
you still technically do with shooting units because if you can shoot, you can be shot, yada yada.
yeah.
So, I think that's an entirely fair point, personally.
So that was basically mine. Just it's a guaranteed fight on death instead of fight first in the traditional sense.
You know what? I am 80% sure that doesn't break anything. I think
I
that's
don't
mostly
think it
fine.
would. I think it's fine. Fight
There's
on death is not nearly as annoying as fight first.
there's definitely some niche situation where it just redefines the game and it'll get FAQ'd at some point. If theoretically, if we were game designers.
Yeah,
But other than that niche situation, I think it works for 80 to 90% of the game.
I got my bachelor degree in game design.
I got my bachelor degrees in arts.
Oh boy.
Hire me, please.
Uh, so those are the generic army rules, but I think we had, and either if this video is way too long already, this might be,
It's at
or
an
if it's too
hour.
short.
So you know what, guys? Everybody in the comments, right below, what you think a rule that could change for the art, like the game in general, and like, give us your thoughts on what we said. Let us know what your thoughts are. Hit that likes button, subscribe, ring that bell.
Share with all your friends.
Share with all your friends. Make sure they hit that subscribe button. Hold them hostage. Put them in a saw trap. Make them hit that bell.
And we'll see you next time.
And we'll see you next week.